Momentus Enterprise is a comprehensive venue management platform used by leading venues and organizations across the world. Whether a venue from a few spaces to hundreds of spaces, Momentus Enterprise has the ability to be personalized to each organization and meet their venue needs. Enterprise is an end-to-end platform with a rich set of solutions embedded to cover the robust needs of a venue today. As you see below, it goes from CRM to calendaring to event management, all the way to accounting. You'll also notice that the system can extend even further with powerful add-on options like purchasing, payables, room diagramming, risk management, and many more. Let's take a look at the software. We'll start with your sales team. Your sales team is able to track all of their CRM data, like new leads, event opportunity pipeline, and on their event opportunity pipeline, be able to even track how they're doing towards their goal, whether it be an individual or a team goal. Of course, following up with clients and prospects is a critical piece, so it is going to remind them of any follow-ups. If a salesperson needs to look at an event opportunity, they can simply drill into the detail directly from their dashboard to be able to see all of the information about that opportunity. Key information like who the client is, preferred and alternate dates, as well as what is the win percentage, when is the RFP due, and the estimated revenue. They also have a comprehensive look at all the communications that have taken place with the customer and any follow-ups that need to be done in the future. They also can be storing a document from the prospect. If the client wishes to know what is available in the space, this is where the salesperson can jump directly to the booking calendar. Welcome to the booking calendar. You'll notice that it doesn't look like a traditional Google or Outlook calendar, but was purpose-built for venues who need to clearly see what is going on in each of the spaces during the time frame. So those are our spaces there on the left, our time frame each day here for a 7-day week on the top. Each venue may have different needs. If your venue is doing more hourly, we do have the ability to look at a different view, like a 1-day, which is going to be able to show them what is going on hour by hour. We'll go ahead and switch back to the 7-day, but you can see that there are other views as well. Each user can also say what is their preferred view. The system also understands spaces that can be broken up. So our Millennium Room is actually made up of 3 smaller spaces. So making sure that you don't double book those spaces. The booking calendar is designed to make sure that you don't have any conflicts. To book a space, all you need to do is simply drag and drop the space and or spaces that are needed. You'll see once you've done that, down towards the bottom, the spaces are there. You can then select the correct rate. We understand that you may have many different pricing structures, whether it be for-profit, non-profit, hourly, move-in, move-out. The system is flexible enough to be able to have all of those different rates. Once you're ready to go ahead and be able to book, all the salesperson has to do is click the book at the bottom, and it will take them to the Add Event window. You'll notice since we've come from the opportunity, all the information about the event name and client information and type of event are already populated over. From here, let's go back, take a little bit more look at the booking calendar. You'll notice that there are tools as well as filters to be able to slim down and look at the spaces that you need. Maybe certain spaces at a certain venue or that hold a certain capacity. Of course, you may want to look at a more traditional type of calendar like a Gregorian calendar, and you'll see that our calendar of booking shows that. You'll notice on this that there are different events and that they are color-coded differently. In the case of the red, I know that I'm color-coding them red because they're on hold. Any of the blue ones have been confirmed. So quickly lets you be able to see what is the status of the event based off looking at the calendar. You'll notice that tools up at the top allow you to be able to export this information and to be able to share this with colleagues, clients, or even external parties. There's also this great tool called Availability Search. If you're a busy venue and can't seem to always find the right date, just simply put in the parameters the customer is looking for, the date range, the dates, as well as what are the features and capacity that you need, and the system will automatically find any dates available matching those needs. A great time saver for your venue team. Switching dates and time frames is very easy using the calendar. We'll jump out here to April. You'll notice that up at the top that there are holidays notated so that your team is going to make sure that you're not booking over, especially if you're booking out multiple years in advance. On any of the events, you'll see that there is this hover over, allows you to quickly be able to drill into the event details. Let's take a look at this leadership training event. In the event, you'll see that it does have the key information like the client, the move in and out, the start and end, as well as the classifications of the event for reporting later on. So you'll know how many events that you've done of each different type. And these are all personalized to your organization. You're also able to see who are the key team members that are associated with this. You'll see I have instructor here. If that's something you don't need, the system's able to be personalized and fields like that can be removed. In fact, fields or even sections can be removed or moved around to meet your needs. This is one of the great things about the personalization of the system. Towards the bottom here, you will see that we do have a lot of information like the bookings. These are the spaces that are booked and the timeframes, as well as the rates that we've assigned during that booking process. You'll also see here on this event is a list of all of the communications we've had with the customer, plus what are all the future follow-ups that the team needs to do. And you will notice that it is a team. Centralizing all this information. We also have an area for documents, allowing you to be able to store all of the documents associated with this event, including things like the contract. The contract can actually be created from the system, allowing you to be able to create that without having to retype information into another document like a Word document. Of course, if you need to send it to the client, just click Add to Email, pick which client contact you want, and you're able to send that directly from the system, and the system will record that it has been sent. You'll also notice that there are other documents that the system can create, like the event order. Let's take a look at this. Some people may call this an event order, event confirmation, or BEO, but it is basically letting you show the information about this event, like who's the client, move in and out, as well as the agenda of the event. It's also showing you what are the items that have been ordered for this. So how many tables and chairs, how does it need to be set up, what are any AV needs, as well as any notes that you've typed in. Of course, if you're doing catering as well, you'll be able to see all of that type of detail right within this event order, which is created by the system. Now, how does it get that information? Well, it all starts with the tab over to the left called the Functions tab. As we click on this, this is where you will be able to see the detailed timeline of the event. So when is lunch? When is the date of it? What time is it starting and ending? And which space is it taking place? You'll also notice that there are notes associated with it, and you can add documents. You also are able to track what type, whether it's a meal, a meeting, a break, or a reception. Any of this information is easily exported, similar to the calendar. This ability to export to Excel or PDF goes throughout the system. The Service Order tabs shows you all of the resources and items that are ordered here. So you're able to see what are those different items as well as the costing associated with them. You'll notice down here towards the bottom, this is a package. The system has the ability to have packages to make entry of resources very simple and quick. You'll notice that from here, these are all grouped by the department. And you're seeing that you're able to see the revenue by department, which is able to be further broken down for deep analysis later on. On the items like the tables, the chairs, and the linens here, you are able to keep track of an inventory. The system will go ahead and make sure that you have enough inventory and not overpromise on the date. In fact, it will stop or warn you that you're trying to oversell your inventory. You also have the ability to be able to add and adjust the pricing by adding a discount or a surcharge. This is secureable by user permission and is also tracked in the audit log. The audit log is a great way to make sure that you know what has happened to this event if there are any questions. But this is where the enterprise system also works with your operational teams. It is creating work orders of what items need to be delivered, separated by department, by time, and by space. These can be printed out as reports, or the operational teams can be able to actually use the system and be able to come into the system and be able to actually mark that they have completed items. Of course, we all know that things change during the event. So if they're adding additional items, the operational teams can be able to update how many were actually delivered. This will make sure to reflect on the final invoicing, making sure that you don't lose any revenue by giving away those last-minute items. You'll also notice that the service orders items had charges associated. This is where the system can then go into accounting and be able to create that invoice from here. In here, you'll be able to see that an invoice, whether it's a deposit invoice or regular invoice, has the amount as well as the amount paid, so that you can be able to track the full detail of it. The system does also have a payment portal allowing clients to go online and be able to pay. Once you've got an invoice, you can be able to click on the View Journal Entry and it'll be able to show. Of course, with any event, there are also many notes that need to be associated, whether they're doing things like alcohol, whether it needs approval, parking, all of those different details are here. This is another screen that is really personalized to your organization. Of course, reporting is one of the key strengths of the Momentus Enterprise. You'll notice that there are different dashboards. Each role or department can have their own dashboard so that they can see the information they need without having to use outside programs like Excel. If we click on the main venue dashboard, you'll see that it's giving you things like key indicators like how many days are booked. Or maybe you want to look at the space utilization and you can be able to look at more detail. Any of these are able to be viewed full screen. Now on the space utilization, one of the most highly recommended, you may want to look at the past, but you may also want to look forward. You're able to adjust any of these reports and say, what is the time frame that you want? But maybe you don't want to look at this in a little bit more detail by space. Well, of course, you can be able to look at it per space. You can even see the events that are used in the space to make up those numbers. And remember, any of this information is able to be personalized. So if you don't want to show columns, if you be able to hide columns, you can be able to do that type of information. And the familiar ability to export to Excel or PDF is also here. If this is the way that you want to view it, a user can be able to come in here and be able to create their own view. Or if they want to create it for everybody in their role, they can be able to create it for everybody in their role, making creating reports very simple. You'll also see this event mix. On these charts and graphs, you're also able to drill down to be able to see what is the events that are making it up, and can even drill down into each particular event. This event, we're looking at it by year, but maybe your boss asks you to look at it by month. You can simply come into this report, be able to say, I want to change it by the month, be able to analyze it that way, and you'll see now you have the same report analyzed by month, taking you just seconds as opposed to creating a whole brand new report. You also can be able to change the look, whether it be to a pie chart or line chart, can be able to do that. The operational teams can also use dashboards. So if they want to see what are the items that they need to deliver, like those AV items, they can be able to have that directly on their dashboard and access that without having to go to each event or to pull each work order. The financial team also has its own dashboards, keeping track of those invoices, the full receivables, and being able to track all of that information, knowing when to create invoices. As you can see, Momentus Enterprise is an end-to-end platform that is very comprehensive and is able to be personalized to your organization.